You see, lately I have a lot to say to you, and you see, I see how people come to some of my videos and they claim that I'm the one with preconceptions, or lately there was one who told me that I actually made my own dogma and stuff like that. So now let's go to these misconceptions or these preconceptions, okay, so that you understand, not because I want to prove something to you, but you want to understand it. So now you can understand it, you see, if you want to. I don't think you really want to understand that, because that would cause you too much of problems, you know, but you made them for yourself. So anyways, how I say that you are the one with preconceptions. You see, immediately I'll focus today only on one thing, as I always do, right? One. Immediately when I start talking about knowing something, that I know truth, and the truth is only one, and I can claim that since I know it, right? Okay, you see, what you do, you immediately say that it's not possible to know that, and that it's not possible to know for sure anything at all. Even you get to that extreme. And it makes you extremely good if I agree and say that's true, right? Because you feel like you won. But you didn't win. You really didn't win. You're losing all the time, in fact. You never win with this thinking, you know? It's thinking of how what I'm saying is what you think it really is. But it's not. Because you are talking about knowledge, and I'm talking about knowing. And those are two different things, but you make them one thing because you're confused, and because you have misconceptions that come from preconceptions. You know, you have the concepts in your mind, and to you immediately the word know, or to know, it means it has to do with knowledge, right? But does it have to? Do you know what knowing actually is? Animals know more than you. More than you now, in this way, the way you function right now, the way you think right now. This grass knows more than you, probably. You know? And if you experience the truth in its own way, the way it really is, then you understand what I'm saying. Because knowledge that you talk about is data. And just because I have some data, it doesn't mean I know anything at all. So knowing, when I talk about knowing, it means it's an instinct. And you lost instincts. You don't listen to your instincts. That's why you cannot be you. And then you come to me and you twist all these words around, and it's just because you don't understand what I'm actually even talking about. And you already come to conclusions, right? That it's impossible to know. How is it impossible to know? Tell me. How is it impossible to know? Don't you know when you have to go pee? Don't you know when you have to eat? Don't you know when your body gets tired? Is that impossible to know? How come you know of it every single second? You know exactly what's happening within you. You know if your leg hurts. You know if your muscle is torn, you don't feel okay. You know if you're not supposed to go somewhere because some instinct comes in you. What is there not to know? Do you need knowledge for that? Can animals do anything with knowledge? They can't do anything, yet they live in the environment, in their wild environment. They live all the years the same, and they still make it through. And because of them, the earth is not destroyed any more than it would have been if you wouldn't be here. You see? Now you go against nature, you go against instinct, because you have an idea, right? That your data is more important than your instinct. That's why you're no longer able to protect yourself from yourself. Because there's nothing that can protect it. Because that's the way you want to go. And the nature is not going to stop you, you're stopping yourself. And nature still goes on, life still goes on. You know? So, why is your knowledge, why is your data so important? As more data you have, more data you want. And you still don't know crap. You know? Still, every time you say something, you claim something of that data, in few years to come, that data switches. You know? The base is updated, and that data from before is incorrect. So what do you get from that knowledge? And you want me to answer the answer on the truth and oneness of truth in your way, in the way of data. I don't have that data because I don't need it. If you know something, there is nothing more you need to know about it, right? Yeah? So I don't understand why you are so eager to go through all these discussions when in fact you know nothing. And what you know, you don't want to know. You see? You don't know you know nothing, but what you do know, you don't want to know. And you don't want to accept it. Because that poses a threat to you. Because then you realize that all these things that you're doing are just nonsense, and you don't really need to do them. So you're just wasting your time. But somehow you had to get to this point, right? So I guess it was okay too. You know what I mean? I don't condemn it. I say it's okay because obviously that's why now even the nature within me has the purpose to come here, put this camera up there, talk all this stuff, you know. Even though it's not my pleasure, it's not something that I want to do, but it's just the nature in me, and I have to listen to it, you know. I don't have my own way. It has to be nature's way. And since nature tries to save itself, you know, it employs certain people who would listen to it in order to get the point across. That's all I'm doing. I didn't say I'm anything special, better than you or whatever. I just listen to the instincts. I just listen to the nature. I don't care about data. So I do know. But not in your way, of course. Because your way is something completely different. And I see how it is helping you in an enormous way. That's why we are so worried when this life for us here will end, because we don't know which day someone is gonna have a click punk and they want to destroy everyone else. That's where we got to, that we have to be so scared of each other and we can't even trust our neighbor. Thank you.